When I got it, the rear axle was actually sat on the bump stops. The springs had sagged that much. The diff was resting on the floor of the car. But to beat that was cool.
Whether you know what this car is or not, it has a steep history in US racing pedigree. It was sat for almost 20 years, but thanks to its owner, is now more than making up for lost time. This is Arnie's race-ready AMX Javelin. Welcome back to Resto Revival. I'm your host, Will. Let's go. So, Arnie, here we are. Thanks for joining me.
No worries, you're welcome.
Welcome to Resto Revival. Tell us what we're sat in front of.
This is my 74 AMX Javelin. It is a work in progress.
Yeah, so this car probably hides a lot of your obsession with American automotive everything. This has got quite a big history in your family, hasn't it?
Yes. Yes,
so this dates back to 97.
Was 97, yeah, my old man's first American car. He bought it in 97. It was for sale at a show, saw it in the corner. Strangely, he'd already had a dream that one day he was going to buy a Javelin, and it was this car, as weird as that sounds. So he went and bought it. I went home in the passenger seat with him. I can't remember it, just a bit too long. But it was always there. I vaguely remember him coming home from work in it. I remember it being parked opposite the house. And it, unfortunately, head gasket went, come off the road, and for different bits and bobs, had some rust. It's had quite a few sort of different panels on it now. But because of the problems, it came off the road. He then bought a Dodge Charger. So one thing led to another. The car moved outside, and that's where it stayed. It moved house 3 times on a trailer. It was almost, I guess, sentimental because it was his first American car, and it's not worth anything being a Javelin. No one really even knew what they were, let alone wanted them. So it kind of followed us round until I sort of kept hinting I'd like to buy it, and eventually sold it to me in 2016. I bought it back on a trailer and then did exactly what Dad did. I bought a Mustang. Started building that, raced that, but once I'd got it out of my system and I'd built my first one, I was feeling sort of ready to tackle this one. So I started then, and I think it came out first time June, July 2020.
Yeah. So you wanted to learn, but not on this.
I wanted to learn, but not on this, because this was obviously, so I planned on keeping it. I didn't want, I mean, even though, like I said to you earlier, I already want to rip it all out and do it again, because I've gained more skills and more stuff, and it all evolves, and I'll end up doing it again one day, probably before I ever paint it. But yeah, I wasn't quite ready. I didn't want to get it wrong. There's a few things that didn't quite go to plan when I first dropped the engine in it, and I thought, oh, it's not going to sit where I wanted it to, and so yeah, I thought, I'll do the Mustang first, and I sort of cut my teeth racing that. And it was a good car to race on. The Mustangs, it was Fox body. They're brilliant for bolting parts on and stuff. So it was a good one to get me going. And then yeah, it was time for this one.
For this, so yeah, why American cars? Why race them?
Mainly because Dad bought this, and then the Charger was the car I remembered more. So as a kid, big block V8, no exhausts, burnouts. It was just like amazing. As a young kid, there was nothing better than it. Like, I mean, Dad's Charger was orange. It literally looked like the General Lee, but it obviously wasn't the General Lee. But so it was just awesome. It had a big V8, and like nothing in England particularly was like that. Don't get me wrong. I like English cars. I like old Fords. I like everything. I like any old car really. But the American cars, the V8, the sound, I was just obsessed with them. And I've had quite a few American trucks as well. They're up on my list of stuff I love. Trucks and cars, Americans, anything old. That's about the newest one I've got. Yeah, they're just different. They're not everyone sees them. Not everyone knows what they are. People just don't know what they are, and they're just different.
Yeah. It's really cool. So what state was this in then when you inherited it?
It was fairly sorry for itself. So both the A pillars had rotted out. They've all been like completely chopped out and rebuilt. It had both rear quarters, some patches in the floor, and one of the front wings, I believe it was that front wing, has had new bottom of the wing. And in front of the wheels on the rears, it sat on grass for a long time. Sat on driveway for a long time, but then it moved to grass. And once it moved to grass, sort of no hope for the rust to not set in really. So yeah, it's had everything has been off of it and back on it. The glass is original, other than the windscreen. So the side windows and the rear glass has all been off and back on. And the body panels is all original, but everything else is pretty much new. So all the suspension, it's all in standard location, still on leaf springs, fronts on coilovers, but all the bolt-on stuff has all changed. Obviously, it's now roll caged, and it's all on different engine ECU and everything. So
yeah. And what was the aim for the car? Was it always Santa Pod racing?
Yeah, mainly because American cars don't really go around corners. Although weirdly, that's what these were famous for in America, was for going around corners. That's what the hump was for getting them nice and low. So, but as a rule, American cars, especially in this country, tend to do drag racing. Dad did drag racing with the Charger, I remember it, and he let me race his Mustang when I was probably only 17, 18 at the time. So that sort of sparked the interest in that. And I sort of got into it. I was into Volkswagens for a long time. I had a VW Caddy. A friend of mine had a Caddy who was also mutual friends with one of my friends and my dad's friends that raced American cars. And he was like, you should come to Santa Pod with a Caddy. So the first thing I raced was actually a diesel Caddy, a 1.6 GTD Caddy, smoke everywhere. And that was the bug. Then.
Yeah.
I had it then. And that's why I started pestering for this. And I wanted to race. So I raced my S10 pickup truck. I raced anything I had at the time I raced until I could get something cool. But with this car, the aim was street car, race car, stock suspension car. So it's not, a lot of the cars are either tube chassis or they've been back off. So they've got big tyres on the back. This has still got small tyres on the back. It's still like a proper road car, other than the fact it's got no dash and stuff. But I'm annoyed I took the dash out. I have got the dash. I sold the back seats, and I'm gutted about that. But yeah, it's all steel, all glass. I just wanted a proper road car that was like a race car. I wanted switches. Like when I first did it, the switches were in the roof, and it was just cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was always going to be fast, but I always wanted it on the road as well to have a bit of fun.
So what power do these put out pre-tuning?
Asthmatic. So typical. I'm going to get some hate for this. Typical American V8. They're massive, but they don't really make a lot of power.
Yeah.
They make a bit of torque, and they do make power, but
No.
until you've done something to them, given them more room to breathe, cams, intakes, like stock, it would have been, I imagine, under 200. They probably said it was over 200, but it probably wasn't. Yeah. There's an auto gearbox as well, so by the time you've gone through the auto box, it wouldn't have been fast. It was only a 304, so it was only like 5 litre.
Right.
So it wouldn't have been that fast.
Yeah. It's normally all size, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it also has a noise.
Yeah.
But that's why I love them.
I was going to say,
that is exactly why I love them.
That is the charm.
Yeah.
Before people like come down.
No, I don't hate them. Trust me, I love them.
It's the charm.
That is why I love them. I've got nothing wrong with them just burbling along.
Yeah.
And they're like sort of.
Well, that's what yours behind.
Exactly. Yeah, that just burbles along. It is not fast at all.
No, it's a big burbler.
But yeah, no, it just. I guess because it was the family, like it's almost become a family heirloom. I wanted to race it because it would always stay then. If it was a road car and stuff, you need certain things with a road car, whereas with a race car, I could just have it and keep it. And it sort of goes through phases where I love it and do lots to it, and then I've got a real problem with wanting to build other projects, so it gets sat. And it probably sits for. Last time it sat for a year again, even with me owning it. And then I finally 1 week before Door Slammers decided it would be a smart idea to put an engine in it and race it at Door Slammers. So then it came back out. But I'm glad I did. I sort of need that. Without a deadline, I kind of don't get on with things, so I'll leave them. I'll do other projects or I'll do other cars for people or something. It's trying to find. I need some pressure to make me get back working on it. So I almost need a reason to paint it, and then I might paint it. But
so talk us through some other stuff you did to take it from a big heavy burbler to race winner?
It's still a big heavy burbler. It's probably heavier now. She's not light by any stretch, but she's got a smidge more power. So
The tune of about 800 horsepower.
yeah, there's a bit there. I've got some ponies.
Yeah.
They're no longer Shetlands. So engine is, I'll get hate for this again, but it's a Chevy LS engine. It's a truck motor, so 5.3. It's an aluminium block, LC9. 5.3 behind or in front of a TH400 4-speed gearbox and a Ford 9-inch rear end. So it's got all of the American, other than Mopar, it's got all of the American bits living in it. 98mm turbo, which is obviously what wakes the engine up.
Yes, eagle eye.
Yeah, some people wouldn't notice that.
Yeah.
It's quite subtle. We like to fly under the radar.
It's like the poor man's Hellcat, isn't it?
Yeah,
But,
that's exactly.
We were saying off camera, it is logically the best place for a turbo.
It is. You never see them there. But
You're a trailblazer.
Yeah.
You know, all car manufacturers are wrong for putting it in the back of an engine.
They're all wrong.
It should be in the
It
middle.
should be right in the wind.
Yeah.
It makes plumbing, it makes everything a nightmare.
Yeah.
But it's right in the wind.
Yeah.
No, I saw a video of a car spitting flames out symmetrically with the turbo in the front, and then that was what I wanted, and I couldn't let go of it, so that's what I did. But yeah, it was very much awkward to put it there. But luckily, Javelins have quite a long nose, so it did give me the room. Most cars you wouldn't be able to put it there without severely setting your engine back. The engine's back, but not that far from standard. The bulkhead's also standard, so it's only gone back probably an inch.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, that's where the ponies come from.
Right.
That and the ECU, the injectors, camshaft, it's all designed to sort of work together. Well, it was. This camshaft is not. This camshaft came out of a box that said turbo cam on it, so I don't really know the specs of it, but it's working. So it's working.
And everything else bought with sort of race spec?
Yeah, pretty much. So like the front suspension is a kit. There's only one company in the States that make a kit for the front suspension of these, Control Freak, and they're all like solid Heim joints rather than bushings and stuff. So it's leaning more towards road race than road, because on the road it is, as you'll see, it's quite firm. The shocks are all just pretty much standard double adjustable shocks that you'd put on any race car, really. It is designed to be a race car. The ECU is predominantly a race ECU. It's a fuel tech ECU that's great for racing. Works fine on the road, but nowhere near the complications of trying to tune something that's on the road all the time with all the compensations and stuff. It's not like that. It is very much designed to go fast. And same with the seats, aluminium, lightweight. They're actually surprisingly comfy. They don't look it, but they are. But yeah, it is definitely leaning towards race.
Talk us through winning Santa Pod. What sort of other than obviously the modifications of the car, what goes into
it depends on, you sort of have to pick a class you're aiming for. Right. And I've sort of aimed at the street car class. I race in a series called Outlaw Street, which is race cars on the road as well. You have to be MOT'd and taxed to race in there. Right. And then I've done a couple of the bigger events like Street Weekend, where we drive on the road as well. We do sort of 500-ish miles, 3 tracks, 3 days. Nothing like they do in the States, but it's still cool. And then Door Slammers, which is probably our biggest door car event in this country, which would be like really aimed at the way they race in the States sort of thing. You have a load of classes. I think they have 90 grand up for grabs in total. Oh wow! Each class has their own prize fund, and you race, basically winner takes all. So your names go in a hat, you draw out, whoever you get, you race. If you win, you go back in the hat, come back out, keep going. Yeah, that's cool. And I've actually won that twice in the True Street class. Unfortunately, this year I didn't. I got knocked out in the semis. I threw an engine in like the week before the event, and I just didn't have the tuning and everything where I wanted it for when I got to the final. I could have had, if I'd have had like 1 or 2 more runs, I may have had a chance of getting it again, because I was getting quicker and quicker each run. but I wasn't brave enough to just chuck a load of power in and hope that the engine could cope, because this engine is no longer forged. It's just a bog standard truck engine, other than cam, valve springs and push rods. So it was like, I'm only going to be able to lean on it so far before it says sorry and exits the building. So I wish I'd been a little bit braver, because it'd have been cool to own it 3 years on the trot. But
if you had no car to drive home.
No, exactly. That's the thing. It was actually nice. As much as I got knocked out, it was nice to be able to put the car on the trailer. It drove off. I went to street weekend then. Me and my dad did street weekend in it, which was great. Like, the whole car started from a memory, and now we're making loads more. Dad's been racing with me quite a bit this year. It's been real cool for him to see. And actually, I let Dad race it. So street weekend this year, I drove it on the road. Dad raced it. So Dad raced it. He wouldn't have driven it for 28 years. So he raced it. So he did say she was slightly different.
I was going to say, did he warn him?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I warned him, and I did turn it down a little bit. And then over the weekend, we turned it up. I really wanted to get him to run a 9, because he'd never. I mean, the fastest Dad had been was a 12, I believe, in one of his friends' cars, and I think a 15 in his. So I wanted him to feel that. I think the first day he ran a 10. Then we was at a different track, which was only 8th mile. So obviously that was a slower time. And then back at Pod, I really wanted him to run a 9, just so he could feel like the car actually runs. At the minute, she's running 8.8s. That seems to be where she's happy at the minute. I could push more, but then I might blow it up, and then it's all sad again. So at the minute, that's where I'm leaving her. And I just said to everyone, I want to get him a 9. If I get him a 9, and it was like the most emotional thing in the world. Like, when he did it, because like, to me, it's easy to drive, and you forget that it's not. There's a lot going on, a lot of switches, a lot of buttons, a lot of things to tell someone to do in a certain order. And so when he actually managed to get the 9, it was like the best feeling ever, really. Like,
but that's so cool.
It was almost better than me driving it to go see.
Because it had been sat for like 23 years. So I'm sure there was a part of him and a part of you that thought, nah, this is never going back on the road.
Oh, yeah. It was always like the ongoing joke that it was just one day we'd sweep it up, because it would just get lower and lower. And like, when I got it, the rear axle was actually sat on the bump stops. The springs had sagged that much. The diff was resting on the floor of the car. And there was marks. So even when it had driven, it obviously nudged the floor of the car. It was in a sorry state, and it was never. We never really thought it would ever do what it's done anyway. It's
I
like,
was going to say, from
it's done,
abandonment to winning.
So like, winning door slammers for me is a massive thing, because it's like the biggest event of the year for us. And even true street weekend, so I come top 5 with it. Even with Dad racing it and me turning it down, I think we were still top 15. And there's sort of 100 odd cars each year.
And plans for the future with it?
Probably paint it. I've had a render drawn with almost like a nostalgic super stock race car with all the coloured paneling. I thought about wandering to blue, but it's been green for so long. It's been so many different greens. When you send through the paint, it's been like, there's probably 6 different types of green under there. So I think it'll stay green. Plans for it may change over the years, but I think the biggest plan is I'll still have it. It's not going anywhere now. So,
And what is the fastest it's gone?
8.4 at 163. That was at Door Slammers the second year I won it. I actually drew Europe's fastest Lamborghini in the final and was outgunned, like 7.5 second car. I was outgunned, but I'd been sort of quicker on the light than him all weekend, and I just had this like gut feeling that I'd do it. And
was there a moment in time where you were ahead of the Lamborghini?
Yeah, the whole way.
Really?
So I left on him. Like my front wheels are in the air before the light's even gone green, and it just breaks through in time, luckily, and I got him. Like the best thing ever. Like everyone watching, because no one expected me to win, because it was so much faster. So it was like the best thing ever to win that event, and against him. And he's a real nice guy as well. Like I had chat to him afterwards, and that real nice guy, and like he's just like us, obsessed with cars. It's just a different sort of car. But to beat that was cool. So yeah, she's actually earned me. She hasn't earned me any money because I spent more money on her. But
I was going to say
she's actually brought in.
The net result's probably negative. If we're being honest.
Definitely, but she has actually repaid me, which doesn't happen in racing very often.
No,
you don't get money back.
Yeah, it doesn't really happen in when you're modifying cars. That never really happens.
No, normally you just open the bonnet and throwing it in.
Yes.
But no, she's paid some back, bless her.
Good. Well, speaking of opening the bonnet, yeah,
That
I want
time,
you
is it?
to talk us through it, and yeah, I'm sure many people watching will want to know too.
Yeah. There's a lot going on. It's a bit of a snake's wedding.
Yes.
There's a lot of things. People spend a lot of time trying to work out what pipes are going where.
Yeah, we've obviously got
Small turbo.
big fat intake, big fat exhaust.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yep.
Yeah,
And a big fat lump at the end.
yeah, small engine really, especially for any of our American followers. They are very. A 5.3 is a particularly small engine for an American car. Like a few of my friends are racing like 911 litres.
Really?
So yeah, she's a small engine, 5.3 truck, LC9 LS based. Most of people would know them as an LS engine.
Yeah.
And then yeah, everything has been done by me in a hobby state really. Just tinkering in my shed.
Yeah, I mean it's quite incredible the amount of work you've done to it
Yeah,
as a hobby project.
Yeah. It's tricky because, like I say, I look at it now and all I see is all the bits I hate and the bits I want to redo.
Yeah.
But it works, and that's the hardest thing to pull it apart again. It does work really well. Like I did the street weekend, 500 miles on the street, never got hot. I think the highest the water temp got to was 98 degrees C, which is nothing. Like LS's run hotter than that standard. Bearing in mind the rad is laid down underneath the turbo.
Yes, I was just looking at that.
It's got good fans on it, Mishimoto fans. They are good. Plenty of CFM.
Yeah.
And I have a scoop. I've got a stainless scoop on the front that goes on when I'm on the road. So it scoops the air up and forces it through.
Yeah.
And it seems to do a pretty good job of keeping her cool, really. It's not on now, so when we take it out later, we'll see how well it cools without the scoop. But yeah, it works, and it's all. I've been fairly methodical. A lot of people look at it and go, "Don't know what that is." A lot of people look and go, "I wouldn't do it like that." But to the best of my knowledge, when I was learning, I've sort of got on with it, and it's all worked, and it's treated me well. So I'm pleased with it, and I sort of can't wait to build more and do other stuff. Really, it's always wanted to build other things, but yeah, it's pretty. To me, it feels pretty standard because I spend all the time sort of reading about LS swaps in America and all the right bits to put on it. So to me, it's all fairly standard stuff. But yeah, obviously turbo, stainless.
Yeah,
lots of turbo, lots of stainless, lots of AN fittings. Old AN fittings certainly add up cost-wise once you start putting them in, but they're reusable and you don't have any issues with them leaking as such normally. So it's.
I mean, everything it's all logical.
Yeah, it's
just bigger and thicker.
And there's just a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, all the fuel regs and stuff, and they're all in there, and they're all tucked away. And there's a bit of an order you can actually get the engine out. It's not something to brag about, but you can actually get the engine out quite quickly nowadays. I've had it out quite a few times now, in and out. And when I built the car, I built it in a way that you can. Your ancillaries come off. Yeah. It's all on motor plates. The whole lot lifts out as one. The gearbox stays in. It's once you've got all your ancillaries off, it's a 5-minute job to actually pull the engine out. Okay. So I was fairly methodical with building it in. If you take things off in the right order, it is fairly simple to work on. Yeah. And obviously at the track, it's easy to work on. I had a leak on the gearbox once, and we dropped the gearbox out on the track or in the pits. Dropped it down, fixed what we need to fix. It was just a leak on one of the fittings on the dump valve, and it was just quite simple to work on. Don't get me wrong, I was probably swearing and I probably wasn't feeling very happy about doing it in the evenings. Yeah, but yeah, it's all methodical and it's all there, but it just does look very busy.
Well, yeah, you've clearly done a really good job. But yeah, I think it's time that you scare the shit out of me on the road.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, let's do it. I feel like I'm nervous if I'm on the start line. It gets a bit like that. Just reminding you, it can kill you. Yeah, it does that.
just going to spin, but this is effectively what I do. It's spinning the whole time, but
yeah. I was going to say half of the fight there
it's spinning.
is traction.
Yeah.
Getting the power down.
Yeah. Yeah, that instantly just lit the wheels up.
Yeah.
Even then, it's spinning the wheels.
Yeah.
I can feel it. You can tell, like, when you can feel it, it's just spinning the wheels.
Hence why you use it on the track.
Yeah, that's it. That's probably the most I've ever given it on the road.
Yeah.
It sounds daft, but you just,
Well, you can't use it, can you?
you don't need to.
No.
And you sort of got nothing to prove. You spend your whole,
Yeah.
like, as a kid, you spend the whole time, you sort of got something to prove, but with this, you sort of haven't, because it is what it is. It's not like a hot hatch anymore.
I can see why you get the bug though. It's addictive, isn't
It's
it?
proper addictive.
Yeah.
Like, I literally eat, sleep and breathe American cars.
Yeah.
If I'm not at work, then I'm thinking about American cars. It's just my little happy place, really.
Yeah. Well, that was tremendous. Thank you for that.
That's all right. And we didn't die, so.
We didn't die, yeah. Thank you
always-
for keeping me alive. Yeah, that was some experience. So, thanks for your time.
No worries.
If you've enjoyed today's video, give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more chats like this. See you next time.